Hey YouTube, people like deck profiles. I'll give you guys my Lightsworn Chaos deck profile for TCG cards only, so you can make this right now perfectly legal. 2 Tragodia, 3 Judge of Dragon, Blacklist Zildjian at the beginning, Dark Iron Dragon, Gores, 2 Chaos Sorcerer, Wolf, Garoth, Jane, 3 Lila, Ithrin, Honest, 3 Lumina, 3 Tour Guide, 2 Plague Spreader, 3 Raikou, 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Solar Recharge, 1 Dark Hole, 1 Charge, 3 Mystical Space Typhoons. For the extra deck, Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Stardust Dragon, Black Rose Dragon, HST Sahemoth, I'll explain why later, Keeper of Illusions, Catastor, Diamond Direwolf, Maestro, Lavable Chain, Acid Golem, Livier, Zedmains, Fortune Tune, and Heraldic Pure Light. Side deck, we got 3 Xyz Encore, 2 DD Crow, 3 Electric Virus, 2 Imps, 1 Breaker, 1 Thunder King, and 3 Jinzo. Okay, just go over my choices for the deck. If I had Raiden, like, right now, the OCG, card Raiden, you all probably know it by now, but if you don't, it's a Lightsworn, it's a level 4 tutor. You mill 2 cards, and you'll get 200 for each Lightsworn if milled, and then on the end phase it mills 2. I would probably just replace Jane with it. Maybe Ithrin too, but I would keep this Lightsworn engine. The reason I've been playing Jane and Ithrin is because I want to use 3 Solar Recharge. A lot of people just like to kind of cut these two, cut Garrot, just kind of cut them for the Chaos Dragon engine. No, I like to have a good set and Solar Recharge. It makes the deck so much faster. That's what the deck needs. A lot of people also don't like Honest, but I feel this deck, because if you're using Necro Garter, you're probably finding the problem where you're getting a lot of Necro Garters in your hand, or yeah, it'll help, but it only stops one attack. Necro Garter is pretty subpar. It's just way better to have Honest. It's offensive. It can really screw an opponent over, especially if you have the Keeper of Illusions. They can't. If somebody attacks Keeper of Illusions, they cannot stop Honest. They can. Well, that was weird. Okay. Next, we got Plague Spreader Zombies. These are important for getting Lightsworns in the graveyard. Especially if you have Illumina and you want to drop JD, you could just make whatever. That's the other reason you have HST Sahemoth. You can, if you have a level 4 Lightsworn on the field, you can make HST Sahemoth, and then when Plague Spreader goes to the graveyard after you Synchro Summon, put something like Wolf on top of your deck and make a level 8. Just some other important things to go through. I'm just going to go through like the techs I have in here. So yeah, HST Sahemoth, you can get over things. He's pretty decent synchro, but really we're just kind of using him to make level 8s with our Plague Spreader. Diamond Direwolf is very important in this deck. Not only can you get fuel for Judge of Dragon, but you'll take out a spell or trap in the process, making it safer, and that's good. Lavable Chain, this is an important card. You can make it and just dump Lightsworn. Just dump your Jane, dump Ithrin, dump Wolf, especially. Wolf will special summon if you need a special summon. That way you get more fuel for Judge of Dragon. Lavable Chain makes this deck so much faster, and if they don't stop your Lavable Chain on the second turn it's summoned, they're just screwed. Now, the one card I think people are really kind of iffy about is the 3 Tour Guides without a Tour Buster or Night Assailant. I don't want to clog up my deck with Night Assailant. No reason for it. You should just keep it the 3 Tour Guides. You're probably going to mill one. And if for whatever reason you mill 2, you still have a Tour Guide to pitch for your 3 Lumina, you've got very easy ways of using it, even if it's just dead in terms of its effect. Another thing you're probably wondering is 3 Effect Filler, no Max C. Max C is so unreliable. Max C was only good on Lightsworn decks back when you had to worry about the wind-up loops and wind-up OTKs. The Effect Filler, it's just better because it's light. It's a tutor. It's light. It's pretty much going to do the same thing as Max C. It's going to make them stop their combo in most cases. And the last thing that I think we should really kind of talk about in terms of this deck is Fortitude. And everybody's like, why do you have Fortitude and Zedmains and pretty much do the same thing? No. If you open up poorly in Lightsworn, and that will happen, if you can get out a Tour Guide summon and bring out Fortitude, you're pretty much going to save yourself for at least 2 turns. It's pretty hard to get by this guy. They can't target with effects or anything. So they can't switch up to attack, and then, they can't compulse. You'll gain 500. Yeah, they'll probably do some damage on the second turn, but I really don't think they'll OTK you, and at that time you can get your footing. Herald of Sacred Light, if you milled your Judge or Dragon, if you milled your Black Luster Soldier, you did something, you add that card back to your hand, and you can go for the OTKs. But, and this is important, I actually stopped an Exodia player on my last locals because I would return one of my 3 effect failure when he would try to use something like Kiko Boyo or something. So next turn, he would stop me with Scarecrow. I said, okay, I don't care, main phase 2, Herald of Sacred Light, or Herald of Pure Light, uses effect, get effect failure back. And remember, that's a good loop too. If you have to go defensive, if your opponents have a deck that relies heavily on effects, you can return your effect failures to your hand and stop them that way. My sides. I run 3 Jinzo instead of Roll Decree or Trap Stun because this is a deck based on Darks or Lights. It has better synergy. People also don't expect it. Like, if you bring back a Plague Spreader Zombie and sacrifice it for Jinzo and you were against an Infernity player, the Infernity player really is screwed. He cannot chain Infernity Break to it, and Jinzo's effect doesn't activate, so they can't use Infernity Barrier. In other words, you could just destroy them. And it's, again, like, they're going to have to go through a lot of back road to kind of stop that combo from going up. You got your Thunder King Ryo for obvious effects. It kind of picked a lot of search decks. I don't main him because, well, really, it's based around the Lightsworn engine, and not every deck is hurt by Thunder King, and some decks have easy ways. Breaker is just in case you're against some weird thing that's like Lightning Imprisoning Mirror. You can decide to sin against Lightning Imprisoning Mirror. Like, if somebody's just running a Lightning Imprisoning Mirror and they're not really doing anything else, Jinzo's kind of a pointless side, so I kind of like Raikou. The 2 Imps, the 2 Crows, those are just for Dark Worlds. I keep these DD Crows in my side deck. I like them for Dark World, but I also like them against weird rogue matchups like Insectors. If somebody's running some Elemental Dragons, I might be tempted to like throw some DD Crow if they have a Elemental Dragon based deck. This is for the January 1st balance, if you couldn't tell. So you might say, oh, that's not going to happen, but a lot of decks have sometimes have things based around. Like, if you have nothing better, too, against Constellars or Evil Storm, that's good. 3 Electric Virus isn't Machine Hate. It's actually for Dragon Hate against Ophion. Oh, it's just there to take Ophion. You can just attack them with the Ophion, you got Xyz Encores. These are anti-Ophion hate. I know I don't like Spell on Traps in the side, but you pretty much need it because you're so weak to Evil Swarm. You really need to get Evil Swarm out of here so you can go with your plays. So that is my Lightsworn deck for January 1st. I hope you guys like it.